No one will be able to see. Okay, we're good.
Are we live?
Yeah.
We have quite a party going on. I don't know if we've ever started the show with this many microphones to check before.
So, Juwan, can you say anything?
I can say something. You have a specific, got a request? You want me to say something?
Say I'm a chicken.
I am a chicken. That's something no one's ever known.
Oh, you're going to want to turn that off.
Cast and Crime exclusive.
All right. So, Ken, say something.
Well, like this is the way I'll start out, but then I'll talk like this more. There you go.
All right, I'm gonna check Turbo's microphone too. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
Oh,
perfect. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. I heard Turbo. And let's see who. And what about JT?
Yep, JT. Go ahead.
I'm gonna toss this one.
Perfect.
Whatever's going on at I think your microphone, Amanda, sounds like there's a
party,
maybe a riot. Like
Juwan. Juwan's got
literally
an entire church group of people behind him.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Well, Juwan is getting ready to go do a show. It's not a show though, is it? What did you call it?
No, it's our church Christmas concert.
Christmas concert. So you don't count that as a show.
No, it's not a show. We're worshiping. We're worshiping Jesus.
So he's basically saying they're not getting paid. That's what he's saying. If it were a concert,
right?
If it were a show, he would be getting paid. But since it's a church concert, they're not getting paid.
Yeah,
that's the language.
I guarantee everybody else in the show is referring to it as a show, but to people who are
probably
in
Christmas show business, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that coming through? The show just started. I mean, the worship time just started.
Yeah, we can hear it a little bit, but it's like we're there.
Oh, sorry, it's bleeding through. It's like, that's Christmas.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it's the countdown. We got a 5-minute countdown.
Oh, but now he's gonna cut out.
Now he's gonna start cutting out.
Oh, that takes care of that.
Am I cutting out now? Dang.
It's a huge show tonight. Those of you who are tuning in for our regular scoozers out there, it's a gigantic show. We have so many people and so many things to do, but it's Christmas time and we're super excited about it. Ken Davis is here, like you've never seen him before, and Juwan DeVivo's here, similar to the way you've seen him before, and Brian April is here, looking exactly like you've always seen him before.
Well, minus the beard.
And John Thomas Oakes is here, and he's going to do another song for us. There's a new verse to our favorite song tonight. It's not this song, but the other favorent song that we have. And then we have grandmotherly advice coming up. So it's just more than, if you're not sitting down, you should, because it's going to overwhelm you.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
This is
Let's go.
Brian's eating pretzels covered in chocolate.
All right, I am going to take JT and Ken backstage.
All right.
And I'm going to take myself backstage. Have a good show.
Alrighty.
Bye.
I'm snacking on chocolate covered pretzels. Sound check it out.
Are you ready for the show?
Oh my gosh. I've got my Christmas uniform on.
Quick, I can get one more in. All right, there we go.
What are you doing?
I snuck one more chocolate covered pretzel in.
Oh, chocolate covered pretzel.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't.
White chocolate.
Is it white chocolate pretzel? That's not really technically chocolate, is it? Is white chocolate technically chocolate?
I believe it's a vegetable.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a vegetable.
Welcome to SCQS.
Nice.
My name is Sean. I am your host this evening. It's our Christmas 12 Days of Christmas episode, and we are fired
Did you,
up.
you look different. Did you do something with your hair?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got new prescription glasses.
Oh.
And look at the first comment that we got from Hijack's wife. Look what she said.
Man.
That's so great.
That nailed it right there.
Yeah, we thought that we had really come up with a tricky one, and like the very first scene, that could have been any movie in the world.
Yeah.
And she recognized it as Gremlins. So
I was
all right, Brian's here.
Brian asked me earlier, and I was like, "That's War Games," and he's like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, I got it." It was not at all close.
That is the same guy from War Games, isn't it?
No, Matthew Broderick is the main actor.
Oh, okay. See,
I googled it.
I got Mandela'd on that one.
Yeah. All right, so welcome to the show. Juan DeVivo's going to be with us for a little bit, and then he's going to scoot away and do something less important, which is praise and worship at a giant Christmas concert. Brian April is here, and there's lots of people here. Basically, everybody. It would take me less time to list the people who are not on the show tonight, and to go through all the people who
And
are
I'll
on
be
the
here because I have no
pretty
life
big.
and nothing to do. So everyone else has something cool and fun to do, and I'm like, I'm gonna just, I'll be here.
Yeah, you're just along for the ride, and as are all the rest of our usual SKUs audience. So hello to you guys, and let's get this show kicked off. I've put on some glasses, and our producer noticed that I looked like another Christmas character, and so let me see if I can do this. Oh. Do you see it?
Sad heat miser.
Yeah.
All right.
You see the resemblance?
That went well. Tabby was talking to me this week, and she said, "Is it harder to do comedy online, like virtually, than it is to do it live, and why?" And I said, "Well, because you don't get any feedback, and so you've got." Yeah, you do the heat miser, and you in your mind you're thinking, yeah, that's pretty funny, but then who knows?
Quiet.
Who knows? Yeah, absolute
Keeper.
quietness. So Ken Davis is with us this evening. Ken Davis is a nationally recognized comedian. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and before Juwan scoots away. I want to get Ken up here to talk with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make those little emojis for the one and only Ken Davis. Ken Davis, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa!
See, I wanted to wear.
Ken, you are ready.
I'm not getting sick. I'm not getting sick. I refuse to get sick. Wait.
Ken, did you do something with your hair?
No, hang on just a second.
He's going to let go of that.
That hurt. Okay. Wait.
You're safer with the Vader setup.
There we go. Okay, I'm ready now.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. Gosh. So what is a typical Davis Christmas celebration like? Are we seeing it here? Is this pretty typical?
This is pretty much it. I'm usually alone. Yeah, this is it. Sometimes I have the fan going. That creates a different lighting effect.
I would imagine that it would be somewhat hazardous to run the ceiling fan with that hat.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, and I want you to know, I brought my special fruitcake recipe tonight too. I just want you to know that.
Oh, the fruitcake recipe and you're going to share that tonight.
I want to share it tonight. I was going to grow a beard like
Brian.
Juwan,
Perfect.
but it was too late. So this is all I got right there.
That's all you got. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Ken Davis is going to give us his fruitcake recipe this year. And so if you've got a pen and paper and you want to jot this down.
Are we making sure that he's not like holding out secret ingredients like with the other ladies that do the church recipe books? Okay.
Yeah.
Giving us all, right?
Yeah. Everything but the rum. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, Ken, lay it on us, the fruitcake recipe.
Is that rum to taste?
Yeah. Well, there's rum cake. You've heard of rum cake?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a pretty conservative guy, but the bottom of that is the best. But anyway, here we go. First of all, and I want this is something we've done for years now. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Season pork chops generously with salt and pepper. That's the first step. The second step is, in a small
pork chops.
Yeah. I'm trying to give a recipe here. In a small bowl, mix together butter, rosemary, and garlic, and then set that aside. And then in an oven-safe skillet, which is the opposite of an unsafe oven-safe skillet, over medium-high heat olive oil, and then add the pork to that. And then sear until golden, 4 minutes, and then flip and cook 4 minutes more. Brush the pork chops generously with garlic butter. Finally, place skillet in the oven and cook until cooked through. 145 degrees inside for medium, 30 degrees for rare. Do that for 10 to 12 minutes, unless it's rare, then don't even put it in there. And serve with garlic butter. That's it.
Okay.
That's not a typical fruitcake recipe that I'm accustomed to hearing. That sounded like a pork chop recipe, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what. Have you ever tasted fruitcake? That's the worst stuff on the face of the earth. This is the only fruitcake recipe that I can handle. I'm telling you, these people send those to us. We use them for doorstops.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Davis's fruitcake recipe.
And I really appreciate you joining me for Christmas this year. It's just so much less lonely.
Well, we are.
Yeah. Hey, that's what happens when you eat fruitcake, usually. Like that. That's what happens when you eat fruitcake.
Before Ken dashes off to make merry in his empty house and his boingy hat.
You like my boingy hat?
Boingy hat.
Yeah, do that again. Step back.
Yeah.
It's actually hitting the ceiling.
The boinger thing got caught on this thing. There we go. Okay. It got caught. It was scary. See, it's caught. No, it's not caught.
It's still caught.
There, it was caught like that. Yeah.
Do you need us to call somebody before we let you go to make sure that you're...
No.
We're going on Big Day with the Comics this August, and Ken is going with us.
Yes.
And I'm so looking forward to that, because this is as much fun as this is when you're far away. Just imagine being able to sit in the same room and make fruitcake together, and and wear hats.
Yeah, and Ken will be wearing that hat in August.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, he will be wearing that during the vacay with comics. So
I'm just praying that lightning doesn't hit near here.
Well, it'll have a oak leaf on it.
Hey, thanks, guys, for letting me be part of the show.
Absolutely, Ken. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, good recipe.
Ken Davis,
Ken,
ladies and
I gotta
gentlemen.
get out of here too.
Incomparable Ken Davis with his fruitcake recipe.
Juwan, you got your thing now. Gotta go be.
Yeah,
hero.
I got this thing I gotta do.
You got to go too, Joanne?
Yeah, I'll see if I can check back later if you guys are still up to this.
Yeah, check back if
Yeah.
you can.
All right, man. See y'all.
Have fun.
Fun.
The delay makes things so great, doesn't it? Or I'm giving this totally useless throwaway line. Check back if you can, and we have to wait 20 seconds for him to go. Okay.
Yeah. It's like watching the news. Isn't that right, Juwan?
Yeah.
That's right, John. That's right. I got that joke. See you later.
All right. So next up in our Christmas 12 Days Spectacular, another somewhat regular here on SKUs is John Thomas Oakes and his piano. So, ladies and gentlemen, put the icons together and welcome back our beloved John Thomas Oakes.
Hello. Merry
Hello!
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Can you hear the piano?
I can hear the piano.
Great.
I can hear you.
All right.
And now I think that you and Brian have a thing that you're doing tonight.
Oh, we do. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so this is, I will confess, I don't know anything about this and I'm not involved in it. So the producer is going to yank me out of the stream here, and
All
I'll
right.
let you guys take it from here.
Well, this is a poem written by Robert Service about a character that many of you may know, Snape from the Harry Potter movies. Yes.
Absolutely.
And you're going to find out a couple of things about Snape that you never knew before. Number one, that his last name was McGee, and that he was from Tennessee, believe it or not. So I'm going to put on the winter gear here so we can do this appropriately. So I've got some Arctic lights in the background and some fire over here in the corner. And hello, Snape. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hello, JT. I'm pleased and so happy to be here following Ken Davis and his hat. I loved his springy hat. I have 4 of those at home, and I'm waiting to go home and bust them out right now.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see you in them. So why don't we do this poem now, and we'll give people a little background about you that maybe they didn't know.
Let's do it.
Sound good? All right.
I'm ready.
The Cremation of Snape McGee by Robert Service. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. And the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Snape McGee. Now, Snape McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say, in his homely way,
I'd sooner live in hell.
Well, on a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail, and talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. And if her eyes had closed and the lashes froze, till sometimes you scarce could see, it wasn't much fun. But the only one to whimper was Snape McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turns to me and says,
Cap, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you won't refuse my last request.
Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he said with a sort of a moan,
It's the cursed cold. It's got right hold till I'm chilled clean to the bone. Yet tain't be dead, my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains.
well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, and I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Snape McGee. Now, there wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried, horror driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say,
You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promise true, it's up to you to cremate those last remains.
Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I wouldn't give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and there a derelict lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, says I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and that furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in that glowing coal, and I stuffed in Snape McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. And it was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And that greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. Now, I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peek inside. By now he's cooked, and it's time I looked. And the door, I opened wide. And there sat Snape, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said,
Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Snape McGee.
I was worried that it was going to be weird. Unnecessarily. Yeah. Any chance of getting John Thomas Oakes to do a poetry podcast? I would definitely be interested in listening to that. That was a great job. Great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lobster.
We have that's what while Brian tries to return himself to proper color, we will. If you notice that Brian occasionally turns purple, It's we discovered it was an autofocus problem a few weeks ago, and so the water bottle. Does it have to be a water bottle, or will anything work?
Anything will work as long as you just basically put it up to the camera to get it to refocus, and then you slowly bring it back to this gorgeous face, and then and then I come back to normal, and the world is right again.
Think about how much better the Snape McGee poem was since Brian has had his paralysis. Right? Can you imagine how difficult that would have been for you to try to do that ghastly smile? All right, JT. Before we bring your mama up and we do the thing that we've been looking forward to for several weeks, you have another verse for "Stay Away."
I do.
Right?
I do.
For those of you who are wondering what we do the show tonight, we did a thing over the Halloween season where JT came on and did a terrifying song or a terrifying poem every single week. And one of the more terrifying songs he did was a song called "Stay Away," where he talks about how dangerous it is to go to Dracula's castle and Frankenstein's monster and werewolves and mummies. And it was suggested by our audience that we should do a verse from time to time of other scary things as sort of like a public service announcement. Is that right, JT?
Yep.
Where we use this as a chance to let other people know about other potential dangerous things. And so with that said,
dangerous things.
Yeah.
So tonight we have a mom theme going on, which we've all got one, and we know that they can be very dangerous.
They can.
So I have a list, one verse, very short, but this will list some things to stay away from concerning your mom.
Okay. Okay.
In case you ever had a doubt about where you came from, if you are breathing air today, it means you have a mom. And if you're ever tempted, sir, to minimize her role, just go ahead and dig yourself a rectangular hole, because she gave you life. Don't ever make her frown. She'll take your smug, self-righteous keister down to Chinatown. So stay away from what upsets your mama. You will be killed if you venture inside. Terror awaits when you tick off your mama, where there is no place to hide. And stay away from those stupid decisions. You're old enough to know better, she'll chide. Terror awaits when you hear from her later, where there is no place to hide. Mom is a word with just 3 little letters. 3 little letters that make the world spin. If you think you've got what it takes to outsmart her, you're better off breaking your shin. So stay away from brown liquor and loose gals. You will be killed if you venture inside. Mama is waiting and she ain't too happy, where there is no place to hide. Thank you.
I gotta say, in all honesty, these are like my favorite segments of the show ever. This song,
Great,
is the greatest song in the history of music ever. Absolutely love these songs, love these segments. We need to do this every holiday.
Well, it's good advice too. I mean, there was nothing in that was not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from the brown liquor and loose women. You will be killed if you venture inside. Absolutely.
If I have any criticism, it's that it was a little understated, that you kind of underplayed the danger
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
of ticking off your mama.
because being killed is not dangerous. I should change it to you'll be eviscerated.
You venture inside. All right. So we're coming up to a segment that we haven't done for a while, and this is unsolicited advice. And the reason that we're doing unsolicited advice tonight is because we have some we have some expert advice givers that are going to be on the show tonight. One of them is John Thomas Oakes' own mother, Pat Oakes, who has also been on the show before. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Oakes, welcome her back, because she is she's a Southern woman. You remember that from the previous episode where she kind of took me to task because she thought I was talking smack about Southern women, and so she kind of let me have it. And tonight, as if I understand correctly, well, we'll let them talk about it. It looks like they may be frozen right now for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're becoming unfrozen, we also have, for the first time, making her debut on SCQS, my own dear mother, Nancy Brannion, or as we call her, Grandma Turbo. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, Grandma Turbo. So say hello, Mom. Hello. She's a little quiet, but she'll come out of her shell as we go.
I
on.
hadn't heard the song, or I might have changed my mind.
Oh, are you offended?
I hadn't heard the song until now.
I don't think Pat heard it before either. That was the first time you'd heard it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we thought it'd be a good idea to maybe upset both of them before we brought them on and did this next thing. So here's what we're going to do, ladies. We have a. Are you going to show your dump cake, Pat, or is that for later?
Can do it now.
Pat actually made a dump cake.
I have 3 little things to show.
Okay.
One, this box says peach cobbler. Now, I think the question is, and Nancy probably will agree, is this called a peach cobbler, a dump cake, or as Tommy said, a dumpster, which includes the cobbler and dumpster? So that I think that's the question.
So
I went to all this trouble just for you tonight. And it's still warm. And this is the peach cobbler, dump cake, dumpster, whatever. Now, I don't know what Nancy thinks about all that.
well, she has been kind of out of this controversy.
Oh,
She wasn't. Yeah, we didn't let her know. Mom, a few weeks ago we had Anita Renfro on here, and I was asking questions about Southern women, and I said that it is genetically impossible for them to turn down an offering of peach cobbler, was the question. And rather than actually answering my question, Anita created this whole controversy about whether or not cobbler and dump cake are the same thing. And do you even know what a dump cake is, Mom?
Yes, I know what a dump cake is. It's about the only kind I ever make. Just dump it all together.
Right. Well, except it's you actually take a cake mix and dump it on top of the peaches.
Okay.
And Anita called that an abomination. She was.
no, you dumped the peaches on top of the cake.
You see how controversial this is. There's a lot of really sharp opinions that fly around when you start talking about cobbler and dump cake, and people are emotionally invested in it. And we were trying to get to the bottom of it and remain friends. And I don't think we could do it. I don't think Anita is going to speak to me again after that episode. But Pat, I think, was trying to demonstrate that cobbler and dump cake, that's what you were doing, right, Pat? That cobbler and dump cake are the same thing.
Well, no, I was asking the question because a cobbler also has a pie crust base.
Is that true, Mom?
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't
Usually
know.
the pie crust is on top, isn't it?
Is it pie crust on top?
On top and on bottom
Both. Okay.
for me.
Right. So this is where, Yeah, I'm already starting to get anxious about this because I think that
You don't have much of a life, do you, John?
that's what people should argue about on Facebook. Yeah. Well, I'm feeling like this is why I wanted you both on at the same time. Pat is in competition with my mother for the number one position as my mother. And so
going to be ousted.
yeah, that's the thing. You're going to have to up your game, or else Pat's going to take over. So what I wanted to do, rather than be hostile and fight about desserts, is in keeping with the Christmas theme. I wanted both of you ladies to offer some matronly wisdom and perspective on some Christmas questions that are plaguing a lot of people. These are causing a lot of people to have sadness at the holidays and anxiety. And I think you can help. So this is unsolicited advice, grandmotherly wisdom about Christmas. And most of these are gift related. And so the first question is, what is the appropriate way to react when you are given a terrible Christmas gift? When you're given a gift that is a dumb gift, it's a gift that you don't want, it's just a terrible gift. What's the appropriate way to react, when you open it up and it's terrible? It's like cobbler when you were expecting dump cake or something like that. It's not what you wanted. What should you do? What's the proper?
Amazing.
So you say amazing?
Wow, amazing. I mean, amazing can be good or bad. Oh, yeah.
If you love the giver, you have to love the gift.
Right.
And it's no lie to love the gift if you love the giver.
Right.
Okay. So you have to love the person giving you the gift.
Mm-hmm.
What if you don't love the person giving you the gift?
Right.
Well, that they shouldn't be giving you a gift if they don't love you and you don't love them. Gifts come from people that love each other.
So is that the time, like when they're handing you the gift, is that the time to work out whether or not you love them with them? Like you should say, I'm sorry, I can't accept this gift from you. I don't like you that much. Would that be appropriate?
No.
I don't think so.
No?
Say, wow, amazing, and then take it to the Goodwill store in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
For me, I determine whether I love them based on the gift. See, that's how it works. I go the opposite way. If it's not, if I love the gift, I love the giver. If I don't love the gift, then I don't love the giver. So
you open the gift before you decide, in other words.
Yes. And if I don't, then I just kind of go.
So it's all conditional. If I love you, I'll love your gift. Otherwise, don't talk to me anymore.
Right. It's basically the opposite of what you said, Mom. You said, if I love the person, I'll love the gift. And Brian just flipped that backwards.
I'm all about, because it's what they say. It's the gift that counts. It's really the gift that counts. And so if I love the gift, then I will give them a big hug. And if I don't, I'm like, I gotta go.
All right. So I think wow, amazing is probably the most practical of that advice. That's something that that's easy to remember. I don't even need to write that down.
It fits every situation.
Okay. All right. So the next question, Brian would make a terrible mom. There you go.
Yes, I would. But I could teach my son how to shave.
Yes, you can.
Really well, but I didn't today.
All right, next question. I want to talk about gift closets, which is when you have a collection of pre-purchased items that you give to people because they have bought you a gift and you did not buy them a gift. So you go to the gift closet and pull out this thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have one of these? Do either of you have a thing? Okay. So if somebody buys you a gift and you didn't buy a gift for them, is it proper to feel anxiety about that? Or what should we do? What should we do when somebody gives us a gift and we didn't give them one?
You just say thank you. Wow, amazing. And move on.
I don't think that that's what you would have said if Pat had not been here.
I took
Yeah,
my
she
cue from
would.
Pat. She's got experience on this, and I'm a newbie.
We're kindred spirits, I can tell. Nancy and I.
We've never met. We need to get together for coffee.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, we don't give gifts very much at all, period, anymore.
Okay.
And I don't have a gift closet where I go pull one out. I just thank the person, say, wow, amazing.
You'd say, wow, amazing, and thank the person. Well, is that not a thing that people do? I don't know if the people in the audience, but I've heard of people that do that, where they have a collection. Yeah, the gift closet is a total thing. Or a gift drawer where you just keep stuff. And then if somebody gives you a gift, you're like, oh no, I didn't even remember that this person was alive. And here they bought me a gift. So now I got to go and get them a gift. And and you guys are saying that there's no reason to do that.
No, I don't think so.
I actually have a gift closet.
What it is, it's a gift to you. And when you have to give something back, it doesn't become a gift anymore. It becomes an exchange.
Right.
A transaction.
Right.
Smart mama.
Well, if I can give some advice, I do have a gift closet. It's called CVS. And what happens is if I get a gift and I don't have one for them, I just say, I'll be right back. And then I run to CVS, and you see all the other really inconsiderate men, usually men. Let's be honest. It's usually men trying to find cards and gifts. And you just run over and you find like some a 9-volt battery, or you find some other wonderful item that they can always use, and you grab that. And you
a Pez dispenser.
Yeah, like Pez dispensers, important things, practical, useful things. So
that was my question. So yeah, but that was my question though, Brian, is that you could go and buy those things ahead of time. You could have a closet or a drawer with Pez dispensers and 9-volt batteries in it already.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be like, I would just run to my pantry and be like, okay, what oatmeal haven't I eaten yet and opened? And here we go. Apple cinnamon. All right, here you Merry Christmas. I didn't have time to wrap it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just a packet. It's just a packet.
All right. So the advice I'm getting from the people who actually have wisdom to give is that there's no reason to feel anxiety from when somebody doesn't, when you don't have a gift to give somebody who's given you one in the first place. That you don't have to feel guilty about that.
Well, there's one word for the person who runs to CVS to pick up a gift. One word: husband. They're the ones who are in trouble for not having a gift.
Because husbands are surprised. It's like, oh, did you? They say to their wife, oh, did you buy me a gift? I didn't. Like they weren't expecting it. All right. Third question, and this one is one that you will have an opinion on, I think, and that's re-gifting. So re-gifting, is it okay or is it not okay to re-gift something? Somebody gives you something, you turn around, wrap it up, give it to somebody else. Okay or not okay? Amazing?
See, they're being quiet, which means it's okay. They're thinking it means see that they're totally that. If they said it's not okay, they would have been like, it's not okay. But since they're thinking it's okay and they don't want to be called out for it, I'm going to just say it's totally okay.
It depends on who you're regifting it to. You want to be real careful. You keep track of who it's from before you regift it back to the same person that gave it to you.
Okay, so my mom thinks it's a matter of organization. If you, as long as you don't accidentally give back a gift that to the person who gave it to you, then you're going to say it's okay, right? Okay, is that what you say, Pat?
Well, back to what I said earlier, we don't give that many gifts. We don't receive that many gifts. We decided a long time ago that it wasn't about the gift thing. But I do have things that I go through occasionally. And if I have something that I think somebody else will like, I ask them if they'd like it, but they know it's already been given to me. So I'm not being deceptive.
Okay. So it's okay to re-gift things as long as you're open about it.
Yeah.
As long as everybody understands.
That we don't give that many gifts anymore either. So gifts are not the issue they used to be, I don't think. I think a lot of people are downsizing and having just as much fun with Christmas.
Right.
Okay.
I do it when I'm just trying to declutter my closet. That's kind of when I'm trying to do like spring cleaning. I go, oh, I can gift this, I can gift that.
Right.
Again, you want to make sure it's not the, hey, remember that sweater you gave me last year? Here you go. That was fun. Thank you.
Right.
So I agree with the mom.
All right. So maybe that's the question is whether or not gifts are even necessary anymore. That's the vibe I'm picking up from both of you, that gifts are not really what matters that much.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
That's the lesson. All right. Well, then this last question is probably going to fall flat, but that's okay. I'm used to that on this show. What is the worst Christmas gift that you have ever received? And you can even go way back in the into your earlier days if you'd rather. But what's a really bad Christmas gift that you've gotten?
First of all, I wouldn't say it on air. And if somebody goes to the trouble to give me a gift, it's never a bad gift. So.
Okay. Are you just going to say ditto, Mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say the worst gift I ever got for Christmas was a stove. Because I had a stove all picked out that I wanted, and my husband didn't want that stove, so he picked the one he wanted and gave it to me for Christmas.
I don't blame you one bit, Nancy. I'm with you on that 100%.
And the boys were little, and he told them if Mom didn't like it, they would take it back. So he roped them in. That was the worst Christmas gift I ever got.
I remember that.
You remember that stove, don't you?
That was a great stove.
But you didn't know the story behind it, did you?
No.
Until now.
No, I didn't know till now. I've still. Yeah. All right. That was a good answer because you actually swayed Pat away from her answer with your answer.
Yeah.
Your stove story. Yeah, converted her.
I like your mom, John. She's amazing. I'm going to back off trying to pass her up in the John likes me best department.
There goes the arm wrestling contest.
I told John when he told me he was going to have me on with you, I said, what do you want us to have? A shootout?
No, I like you too much.
No, I'm afraid Pat would probably win that. We have are these moms open for more children? So you guys want to adopt anybody? Okay, there's one other thing that I want to do real quick with you two, and that is that my mom got the nickname Grandma Turbo. Do you remember why you got called Grandma Turbo, Mom? Do you remember how you got that moniker?
You probably do.
I do.
Of course
I do.
You remember better than I do. When I tell the story, I'm always contradicted. You go ahead and tell it.
Well, I want you to tell it. I want you to tell. I won't interrupt you.
It had to do with I have a mantra. It's okay to get old. We can't help it, but we don't want to be old. So I have fought being old for years, and it had to do with water skiing. I wanted to water ski, and my kids wouldn't let me. They said I was too old. And I think my son-in-law was the one that called me Grandma Turbo. Have I got it right?
Well,
I got it wrong.
Sort of. It was the water skiing thing. It wasn't that you were too old. It was that you had just had knee surgery.
Right. Oh, neither place. Which will make you old in a hurry.
Right, but that changes. It. You had just had knee surgery, and so you were like, "I am going to water ski this year because I just had my knees replaced." And then it was Bobby. It wasn't me, but it was Bobby. It was my sister's husband who said, "Easy there, Grandma Turbo," and that was how it stuck because we were not anxious to take my mother and drag her behind a boat at 30 miles an hour with a brand new replaced knee. So
and Tim was the one that picked it up and kept it going. Your son Tim,
right.
And then I kept it going because I thought it was much more interesting than Grandma.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, but the reason that I wanted you to tell that story is because Pat also has a story that she can share about. And I want you to tell about the record that you hold, Pat, the world record that you hold.
Oh, okay. Well, my grandma name is Prisha, and my grandson Cal gave me that name because he heard Tommy and his mom calling me Patricia, and he heard it as Prisha. So I've always been Prisha. And we were at church camp when I was 70, and he wanted to do the zip line, and he was afraid. And I said, "Oh, there's nothing to it. Prisha can do it." So at that time, we had a telephone pole. So I went up the telephone pole, however far, 50 feet, I don't know, and did the zip line. And the camp manager told me that I had to come back when I was 80 and do it again in order to hold the record. So I did it about 3 weeks ago. And I still hold the camp record, not the world record, for the oldest person to do the zip line at Appalachian Christian Camp.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
2 peas in a pod, the water king. So yeah, the oldest person to do the zip line at Appalachian Christian Camp.
Appalachian. Don't say it like a northerner.
Sorry, I am a northerner.
I know, but don't say it like that. It makes southerners mad. Appalachia.
It's hard to. It's you would never believe that Pat Oakes is my biggest fan, would you? The way she talks to me, you would just never.
Your biggest fan.
Yeah.
I don't understand some of the stuff you write, but I'm still your biggest fan.
Yeah, she writes. Every time she writes to me, I'll write something on the blog, and I get an email from Pat, and it's always the nicest, most encouraging thing. And then she comes online and she just said, "Don't talk like a northerner, John. Don't." It's like, I thought you knew I was a northerner.
Just Appalachia gets to us. It's Appalachia.
Stay away from talking like a northerner.
Grandma
Prisha will kill you inside.
Grandma Prisha will take you to the woodshed.
That's great.
Oh, that's so good. All right. I have some news. I have some weird news that I want to cover. And if the two grandmas can stay, I would love to get their guesses on these news stories. I got 3 news stories, you guys. And we do this segment called Weird News. I put up a photograph, and you have to try to guess what the news story is about this photograph. And then I will read the actual news story. You can't make a mistake because usually it's almost impossible to guess what the actual news story is because they're very weird. So does the producer have the first one that we can put up? There we go. You guys want to take a guess of what that is?
Oh my goodness.
Can you see it? It's a rabbit wearing a green kind of hunting hat, and he's carrying a shotgun.
I'm going to go ahead and say Germany right off the bat.
No, this is actually in Indiana. This is my home state. Yeah.
This is your living room. Okay.
No. You have a guess, Mom? This is Indiana.
I'd say it's a rabbit trying to hold off Santa Claus with a shotgun. Don't let him come here.
This is a hare. It's Theodore A. Hare is his name, and he was occupied. He was in a lounge in Indiana, and he got stolen. Somebody stole him from the lounge. They stole that for obvious reasons. You know, you're gonna walk past that and not be tempted to steal it. Dressed in a fancy hat, carrying an old shotgun. He's the restaurant's mascot in let's see, what's the name of the restaurant? Indiana restaurant. You know, it's in Fishers, Indiana. And somebody pinched him, somebody stole him, and then they returned him because he took out an ad in the Indianapolis Star and offered $1,000 or a $500 reward for his return, no questions asked.
Wow.
No questions asked. They just wanted their mascot back. So they propped him up, and it was a handwritten note that was attached to him when they brought him back, and it just said, "Sorry, this was a drunken mistake. He was well taken care of." So somebody got drunk and stole the mascot on accident. They accidentally stole a rabbit carrying a shotgun.
I gotta say, my goal is I'm gonna be traveling in 2 weeks. I want to find this restaurant and take a selfie with the shotgun wielding rabbit.
You mean Theodore? Theodore A.
Theodore,
Hare?
yes. Theodore the hare.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, anyway, I just thought it was funny when you get drunk and you steal a rabbit, and then you would wake up the next day and find him there and go, where did this come from? And you'd have no idea where it came from until you saw the ad in the paper, and you're like, oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. That's where I need. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that happens a lot. Like, I know most of us probably had those nights in high school, and then you wake up and you have like a Ronald McDonald that you accidentally stole from the night before when you weren't fully, with all your capacities. So that happens. Right.
You have a mascot. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next picture. You guys want to guess what this is?
That's the guy who stole Theodore the hare.
That's a good guess. Good guess, but nope. What do you think? Pat doesn't have a guess.
Pat can answer this one.
My mom just threw you under the bus, Pat.
An oil spill out in the ocean.
Well, okay, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
It does look like an oil spill. That's not weird enough.
I know.
This is this is actually out in Massachusetts, Brian.
Okay.
So it's your old stomping grounds. This guy was rescued by the fire department because he was sunk up to his chest in mud in a drained pond.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So they drained a pond, and this guy sunk up to his chest, in the mud and couldn't get out. The story says it was unclear how the man became trapped in the mud. That's what it said in the newspaper. The firefighters responded to Watershop's pond for one person stuck in the mud. The individual has been rescued. No reported injuries. It was unclear how the man became trapped in the mud. And I thought, wow, how difficult would it be to just ask the dude, what were you doing out there?
Exactly. Does it say what town? I'm just curious what town that was in. I know you said Watershed's Pond, but
let's see. It says Massachusetts. I'm not sure what town it was in.
Okay. Because that would make total sense in certain
Springfield?
parts of Springfield. Okay, so
yeah.
All right. Wow, that's weird.
I would wonder if that's really true, why he's not a lot more muddy himself.
So you think you think it's a hoax?
Yeah. Right. I think it's fake news.
He didn't get stuck in the mud. Look how happy he is.
Yeah,
Look how
muddy.
I want to say there was a story. This doesn't surprise me too much because I believe it was Massachusetts. There was a story about like a whale that like got beached or something, and they couldn't move it, so they decided to use dynamite to blow it up. You remember the story? And then like it just like rained whale parts for like about a mile.
Yeah, we should put that video on a future episode of SKUs because that's worth watching. Yeah, there was big chunks, and it actually crushed a car. A big enough piece of whale came down on a car and smashed it. All right, so last one. We got one more picture, and this is the one that if you don't get this one, I'm going to be so disappointed and shocked. Any guesses what this might be?
This is a game show in Japan, or porta potties in Japan. It's a game show of porta potties in Japan. That's
Cell phone? Cell phones?
Cell phones is a good guess. That's a good guess. It's not right, but it's a good guess. What do you think, Mom? What is that?
Like owls.
Like owls?
Owls, the eyes, and the looks like owls and pocket protectors.
okay. I think I got it.
Owls and pocket protectors.
Right.
Okay, that's a worse guess.
Is that a firing range?
No.
Firing range?
Firing range. Yeah.
I think I got this, John. I got it. All right. You know how they do those Christmas lights and they do it to the music and they light it up and they do displays?
Yes.
This is a musical light up Christmas display that goes with the music with porta potties in Japan.
Are you kidding me? Have
Firing range.
On a firing range, that's right.
On a firing range. She's sticking with firing range. Have you seen this, Brian?
I have not. I swear I have not.
That is exactly what it is.
Yes.
That is exactly what it is. And we've actually got video, so go ahead and play the video. Singing porta potties.
We're gonna have the best looking house in town, Russ. I've always wanted to do this. No, Bethany, those are Christmas lights.
I mean, come on. That makes you want to. It makes you want to sing and use the bathroom.
Yep. Service sanitation. What was it? Jingle. Hallelujah Christ.
I'm not a little ashamed to tell you that I watched this probably 8 times. I watched the whole thing 8 times, and I'll even confess that you know that part in Alleluia where the crescendos and it goes, and he shall reign forever and ever. I mean, that part always chokes me up, and it choked me up when the toilet sang it. I'm serious. I got a lump in my throat, and I got a little teary when the toilet sang, "He shall reign."
Oh my gosh!
Third nurse is done. Stand a cap and head for the bathroom. Hold the show. Nope, we can't. We got to go on. We're out of time, Jeff. And plus, we can't top that anyway. I have absolutely nothing to top the Hallelujah chorus coming from porta potties. So we're gonna wrap up.
Amazing.
That's an awful lot of porta potties to be all in one place.
And I won't top that either. All right, so it's time for this snappy wrap up. If you're not a subscriber to johnbrady.com, what more do you need? We had singing potties, and we had gun-toting rabbits, and we had Ken Davis in a boingy hat. I don't know what we need to do to get you to realize that this is a cause worthy of support. Is that right, Brian?
Sign up right now, like right now.
Yep. So go to johnbrady.com, become a subscriber, help us keep this sort of important broadcast going. Go to Comedy Brian for all of your Comedy Brian needs and most of your Comedy Brian wants.
Absolutely. And the wants are on sale this week. So you go ahead and check that out. Promo code Singing Potty and 10% off.
He's got all sorts of merchandise that you can put in your gift closet for those times when somebody forgets to pick up a gift for. Also, Casting Crowns, which I don't even know why we're mentioning them since Joanne is not here tonight. Casting Crowns is still on tour. Actually, they're not on tour until next year, but go hit up their website and tell Joanne that you love him. Special thanks to Ken Davis with us tonight. Always great to hear from Ken. Go to his website and tell him that you saw him on SKUs and that you appreciated his hat and let him know if you make his fruitcake. If you actually try his fruitcake recipe, let him know that. Also, thanks to John Thomas Oakes for showing up with his raw talent and his mama. Thanks, Pat, for being with us again tonight. We'll have you come back in the future, even though I say northern things from time to time. And also thanks to my own dear mother, Grandma Turbo. I'll probably talk to you again sometime in the future as well. This won't be the last time. This won't be the last time that you and I ever see each other. Also, thanks to everybody for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week right here on Starving Comics.